So on Monday, the mugshot of a 10-year-old boy accused of threatening to shoot up his school was released by Florida authorities. This is this 10-year-old kid that you're looking at right now, you guys. So, quote, I did a campaign, fake threat, real consequence, said Lee County Sheriff. While I understand the boy is 10 years old, his brain is not fully developed. He's a juvenile. So a 10-year-old from Florida wanted to shoot up his school. All right. And what I think is amazing is they released his picture.
Right.
I think that's a beautiful thing because
Juvenile.
typically that does not happen. But I mean, it goes more to my point that Florida is a shithole. And, if you have children in America, you should be afraid to send them to school. I watch MSNBC, Ari, who's a contributor of that network. He had Benny the Butcher on there, and Benny's from Buffalo, and we know about the Buffalo shooting at the Tops grocery store, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Benny said ever since that shooting, he has kept his children at home. He won't even send them to school.
Yeah.
This is a rich, I don't want to say celebrity because some of you might not even know who he is, but this is a rich person. He is a air quote famous rapper. And this happened in his neck of the woods. He's like, kids, you're staying home. We're homeschooling. A lot of people think these type of shootings do not affect the rich and the influential. He is rich. He is influential. His kids are staying at home. I don't know what more to tell people because I got to be honest. There was a post on 6Buzz where somebody had a gun near Oakville, a school in Oakville, and they shut everything down. Everybody went nuts. To me, it didn't freak me out because I grew up in the era where like people brought guns to school. They just didn't shoot the school up. They just had them. You know what I mean? So like, you know what I mean? It didn't say this person was trying to shoot the school. They just brought a gun. That's it. But yeah, like this is 10-year-old. What are we doing?
I don't know, man. I think what really needs to be discussed is what is going on currently. Like, I'm starting to feel like there's an underground website or a forum or something going on that these kids are logging on to all get this same, because the fact that these are all happening at the same time, so close to each other, so many kids are being influenced. There has to be a reason for this, man.
But there is. There is. It's called Fox. It's called Tucker Carlson. It's called Twitter, right? What you're saying that there has to be, that there actually is. It actually is happening. These kids, these teenagers, these adults, they're being radicalized through the internet, through television.
I understand what you're saying. Okay, I get what you're saying, but everything that you're telling me right now is media is something that has existed for a long time. So yes, the internet is a bigger space for misinformation and getting all types of different ideas. And if you want to go down a certain rabbit hole, you can absolutely follow that using the internet better than you could when there was no internet. I agree with that. However, I don't think this is just social media and those type and Fox News, because Fox News has been out. We watched Fox News when we were kids. I didn't hear about this happening. Fox News existed when we were kids.
It existed when we were kids, but
I didn't hear about this happening at schools.
Yeah,
but they weren't. Yeah, but they
weren't so overtly.
There was media outlets that people could go to.
Yeah, but they were not. They were
kids.
not pushing the message. They were not pushing that so directly as they are today. It takes time to build up to be able to do that. You got to wear that shit down, and it's worn down to the point. You know what? You know when we were talking.
I just think you're blaming the wrong. I just think you're blaming the wrong places.
I don't think
That's
so.
all I'm saying.
I don't think.
I think you're blaming the wrong places. That's all I'm saying.
And by the way,
everything you're talking about has existed for so long, bro.
And by the way,
we're talking about shit that's happening over just the last few years.
I'm not saying that these media outlets are the sole reason why this is happening. What I'm saying is, and I agree with you, these media outlets.
What you said is you want to know where it's coming from. You want to know where it's coming from. That's what you said. But go ahead.
That's a part. Okay, let me
Okay.
provide clarification. That is
Go
a
ahead.
part of where it's coming from. Naturally, of course, it could be coming from anywhere. But a lot of where it's being spread is naturally through the media. And Tucker Carlson, who is a part of Fox News,
Mhm.
has a massive platform. And when you talk about the replacement theory, which we talked about on our last pod or a couple pods ago, he talks about this all the time. In fact, over the last, I think like maybe 2 or 3 years, he's mentioned the word replacement theory. This is a guy who's on one of the biggest right-wing platforms in America. He's mentioned it over 200 times.
Yeah.
So that has effect on.
It definitely does. It
Of
definitely
course it
does. But
does.
it definitely does. But what I'm talking about 10-year-olds. We're talking about the last kid was 17. We're talking about kids under the age of 18. I don't think their main influence is Tucker Carlson, my guy. I don't, I just don't. Their main influence is not
Who's their
Tucker
influence?
Carlson.
Who's their influence?
Kids under the age of 18 are not listening to
Who
guys
is
who are
their
anchors on.
influence? Who is their influence?
I can't speak, man. I'm out of that age, and I don't really talk to anybody in that age. But I can tell you who it's not. I can definitely tell you who it's not. I don't know exactly who it could
How
be.
can you
That's what
tell
I'm
me who
saying.
it's not, and then you
Because
can tell me who it?
I know how age groups and demographics works, and I know what kids are interested in versus what adults are interested in.
Okay,
And I know what I did when I was a kid versus what I did when I was an
so these 17-year-olds, right, who are shooting up these schools, and
10-year
we're
old
talking about
and the 10-year-old we're talking
and the
about right
10 year
now.
old, so who
Yeah,
are shoot well, the 10-year-old didn't shoot the school up, but
but he's the topic.
He threatened. So
He's the topic.
who did this 10-year-old get this idea from?
Like I just said, I guess I have to repeat myself. I am not in that age group, so I don't know where kids that age are getting their information from. I
Okay,
can't
all
say
right.
that with
Let me help
definitive,
you out. Let me help you out.
but
If
I
you're
know
Let me help
adults
you out.
watch
So
Fox News.
so if you're a 10-year-old, right? If you're a
Yeah,
10-year-old, if you're a parent and you have a 10-year-old and your 10-year-old is saying this, that, and the third, they're either getting the information from you, the parent,
right.
who's
Or
probably
Tucker
watching
Carlson.
Fox,
Or Tucker Carlson.
who's probably watching Fox. That could be Tucker
Right.
Carlson or whoever else,
Okay.
or they're getting it from school. And if they're getting it from school, they're getting it from other kids whose
Who
kids
watch Tucker Carlson.
their parents watch Fox. Like, why are you being so difficult? Like, you're not that dumb. You're a smart guy. Figure it out. So the point
Sometimes you
is,
don't realize what you I don't think you understand what you say. You make it so definitive, and sometimes it's not just as direct as you think it is.
no,
That's what I'm saying. And you're speaking for an age group that you have no knowledge of.
no, what I actually do is I give them credit. And I assume that they know what I'm talking about, that a 10-year-old is not watching Fox News and saying, I hate black people, because Tucker Carlson, who they don't know who that is absorbing what he's saying. I'm giving our viewing public the credit that they know it's coming from their parents. I mean, if you want me to break it down, I can, but I don't think that the people who watch this podcast are that dumb. I don't think so.
Okay.
Right? I mean, are they that dumb?
Okay.
You can tell them.
No, I'm not.
You can tell them.
Right. My response right now is just in response to what you just said.
All right.
Okay.
Tell them. Are they that dumb? You can tell them.
No, people who watch this, definitely, you cannot be dumb and watch this podcast. You just can't, because sometimes we speak about things on a level that I know some people would just not be able to grasp. And that's probably what's keeping our podcast from blowing up. Or maybe it's because you didn't drop a like yet. So maybe you should drop a like if you're at this point in the video, because that would help our page really, really grow. Other than that, when it comes to this topic, like I said, there's something going on in the States right now to where this is becoming a trend. It's becoming almost like, it seems like it's a popular thing. And everybody, it's happening in all these different places. These kids are willing to drive hundreds of miles to do these things, to select these locations and all of this stuff. And it's all connected and disconnected at the same time. And I'm saying, I think that there's something else going on that nobody knows, that is actually going on, that is actually propelling this. And
but
I just don't know what it is. I wish I knew what it was. I just wish I knew what it was. If you want to be Nostradamus and say it, then you have your point too, man. And you made your point. And your point is out there for the world to see. This is just how I feel.
So you think there's something.
I don't want to insult you. I don't want to insult you.
So you think there's something happening, but you just don't know what it is. There's got to be something.
Because I don't know what it is. I'm in my late 30s. So no, I don't know. I don't. not with this age group. I
All
just
right,
feel
all
like
right,
there's
okay.
something
Well, let me help you
attracting
guys.
this
Okay,
age group
all
to
right,
this
perfect.
trend.
All right, let me simplify it for you, since
Okay,
he doesn't know.
he's gonna say the same thing he said before again. Here we go.
Well, yeah, I mean, because I've been saying it, so I don't know how you haven't picked up on it. I'll
You don't
say
have
it.
to repeat it to me. You don't have to, but if you
Sure.
want,
I mean, I think it's necessary because you don't get it yet. It's pretty straightforward.
okay.
America.
Just because you say it doesn't mean it's right. I
Yeah,
just want
yeah,
to
it
get that
is.
out
It
there.
is. It
It's
is
just
though.
your opinion. That's how this works.
All right.
Go
Well,
ahead.
okay. Well, you talk to the people who were family members of the Tops grocery store shooting, and you have that conversation with them. Okay, so America built on racism, white people being indoctrinated with replacement theory. Okay.
Mhm.
How do we fix that? Kill black people. Problem, air quote, solved. That's it. Simple and plain. Nothing more to it.
I don't know what you want me to say. Okay.
I mean, clearly there is nothing more to say apart from, and I've said it again. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Leave the country. It's not for you.
you
Leave.
you have said that before.
Yeah, and I'll continue to say it. Leave. Leave America. It is not
It's
for
sad.
you.
It's
Leave
sad.
America. Simple and
It's
plain.
sad. It's sad. Whatever, man. America, this is a problem that you need to address, man. It's crazy how serious we are with certain things, how we make them a priority, and then stuff like this happens, and it just seems like it's just a slow crawl to try to like do something. I don't
So
know what to do, but man, jeez.
so Governor Abbott from Florida, no, Texas, excuse me. He spoke on the shooting there, and he got his facts. He didn't care so much. First of all, if you are a politician, you know everything you say is scripted because you're a politician. He cared so little that when he spoke on the shooting, he freestyled. I'm going to paraphrase here, okay? But this is essentially what he did. He said that the shooter came in this door and he was shot by a teacher. And in the very next sentence, literally, the shooter came in this door and he was shot by border control. He had no idea what he was talking about. He did not care. He went to
Right.
speak on it another day. They booed his ass. They don't care. They don't care about your kids. There's a rapper in Toronto. His name is Adam Bomb. And
Jesus.
shout out to Bomb. And Bomb has like-minded thinking that I do. And
Okay.
he said that the only way that these Republicans are going to start caring about gun control is when you start killing them. I'm not suggesting you go grab guns and kill them, but you know, when are they going to get what's going on unless it actually affects them directly? Right?
Man, you gonna quote anybody else?
No. America doesn't seem like the safest place to be. If you're a child, I remember when I could run around my complex and we can have water gun fights. Remember water guns? Water
They still
guns.
exist.
No, they don't. They exist for some people, not for us. And when I say they exist, of course you can buy them, you can purchase them. They're there, they're tangible, but for their actual use in the summertime, running around outside in public view in the heat, shooting your friends to cool down, that is the purpose of a water gun. But when you look like me and you, we cannot use a water gun. Mind you, a water gun is lime green for the most part. It's orange, it's yellow, right?
Man,
I've never, even in the movies, I've never seen an actual gun that could take your life that resembles any of those colors. But apparently, if you handle one of them and you look like us, you could lose your life. So
my
yeah,
nigga, you are going off at some tangents right now.
it's not a tangent.
What is in that cup? What is in the cup?
It's not a tangent, man.
What's in the cup?
It's not a tangent.
It's in the cup, man.
You know, the sad thing is, man, and I'll tell you this, and I hate to play this card, but it is what it is. But you're older than me, so and I'm younger, but not by much. But like the time when we grew up in a different time where we could do shit like this, and it was nothing. Again, I ask you, like, how in tune are you? Do you not see what's going on? I have a 3-year-old. If my 3-year-old says, "Hey, Dad, I want to go play water gun tag with my friends," I'm gonna say, "Yeah, you can go in the backyard." Where I
I
can
just
keep
know that there's entire companies that are making tons of money off of selling water guns every year.
and they
Like there's one, I forget the
as
name of the actual company that like
super soaker,
Soakers.
as they
Yeah,
should,
Super
as they
Soakers.
should, as they should. But
So
of course, if you know what's going on, you know there's kids getting shot for holding pretend guns. It happened in Oakville,
I
in
don't have kids.
Ontario.
I don't have kids,
Yeah,
man.
that's
So
great.
I
That's
don't
great.
know. I know laser
That's
tag still
awesome.
I know
That's
laser
awesome.
tag still exists
Laser
though.
tag is indoors,
Okay. Okay.
right? You know that.
Indoor guns is different than outdoor guns.
Well, when you're out, you know, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to dumb it down because whoever's watching should understand that. Okay, let's keep it moving.